Aero gun mad.
Ah.
K-Gun finally got round to it, then faced with tears of joy.
It's been a shit few weeks. I've not really told anyone. It's been fucking awful. So I got round to it. I'm going to do it because it's been on the back of my mind for ages. I'm not going to make you guys hang around for any longer. We're going to get cracking. It's round 7. I know we're 3 days from season 22 car reveal, but fuck it. We're going to go with it. We're going to wing it. I know I'm becoming like Pyro, but my aim is to actually finish shit, unlike Pyro, who doesn't seem to ever want to finish a series at the moment. But that's Pyro's things. I was going to stream on Wednesday night, but there was a double stream for the 12-hour endurance race that's coming up shortly, but screw it, we're going to go. So, Yuri's going to bring up the back of the pack here at Autopolis in the wet.
That mate, only upwards, backhand index pointing up.
I go only upwards. The only bit of good news is I know when. I'll explain to you later, Tommy, but I know when I go. Let's put it that way. So, Yuri's going to bring up the back of the pack here in this wet race at Autopolis. We then got Danger in 12th, Sir Tracy in 11th, we then got Astro in 10th. Unexpected qualifying position from Astro. I was expecting him near the front, but Astro's in 10th, got a little bit of work to do today. We then got Weapon in 9th, Zab in 8th, Obi-Wan in 7th, so a good qualifying position for Obi-Wan. Jezza is in 6th, great qualifying position for him. We then got GG in 5th, BT in 4th, Tom's in 3rd, so another great qualifying session from Tom. Tommy, the championship leader, is in 2nd, and then Kanata is...
Mate, I'm awful in the wet.
Don't let your missus hear that, that's for certain.
First place in the wet with barely any practice.
To be honest, I didn't race this. I was at work on this one, and I was actually quite thankful I didn't race this. Anyway, we then have got Kanata in 1st. We're going to, like I said, we're not going to hang around. We're going to get cracking as we've got 5 red lights. A long hold today, and away we go. Who's going to get a good start? Kanata gets a good start in the Porsche, but Tommy's just going to get a better start. The AMG goes steaming through in... No, I can't imagine many people practice too much for this one. BT's trying to swoop around the outside of Tom here. BT's still in 4th at the moment as we got Weapon, who's just spun off and spun up the tyres. He's going to fall way down to the back of the pack as we got most of the driver... We got half grid on wets, we got half the grid on intermediates. This wrong button. As Tommy and Kanata are having a little fight side by side. Kanata goes around the outside, keeps the grip. Tom's going to try and go around the outside of Tommy. Now has the inside line for this right-hander as we come out of the first twisty bit into a relatively fast section in the dry. Kanata's starting to break away. Tom doing a great job at the moment, holding that second position. Why are my liveries? I think it's because my liveries aren't loading, because this is the stock livery. I don't know why liveries aren't loading. I will find that out between this round and the final round. So Tom up into 2nd, Tommy down into 3rd. Kanata's going to lead us at the moment. We're going to come back. GG up into 4th. BT's down into 5th, being under pressure from Obi-Wan, who again's in the stock livery for some weird reason. Who's going to go diving up the inside, is going to send it late on the brakes, gets the move stuck and done as well. Zab's going up the inside of Astro going around the outside now. He's in the stock livery whilst his teammate is in the... I don't know what's going on with liveries. We're just going to have to brush past that. Astro now up into 7th. Zab in 8th. Danger's in 9th. What is with half the liveries at the moment? Yuri up into 10th. Gained 3 positions in this opening lap so far. So Tracy's back up into 11th. Weapon down into 12th. And Jezza's not having a great opening lap at all. All the way down into 13th. And he was sick, I think. It is a very hard track in the dry, let alone in the wet, but we're going to come a bit further forward. Kanata's going to take the lead at the moment. Tommy's in 2nd. What's happened to Tom? Oh, just a little bit too much on the power and off onto the grass. Not particularly where you want to be. Does Gigi's trying to go around the outside, does make the outside work. There's a tiny little bit of contact. Rubbing is racing and there is no No real sort of disturbance between the cars, so it's a good little pass there from GG, although very much sideways coming out the final corner, trying to get the power down, struggling to get his power down. So Tom's got a good enough run. Is he going to challenge going into turn 1? He is going to challenge as we come into turn 1. You can see a bit of a dry line starting to form. Tom very late on the brakes. Can he get this Nissan to stop? He does get this Nissan to stop. Very, very well done on the brakes. Gets the car to stop as we come into turn 1. Let's come back a few cars. Astro doing... What do you mean you can't do well in the wet? You started 10th and now you're in 6th. You've got... What a bunch of lies. So if you want a piece of advice, don't listen to anything this driver has to say. He lies through his teeth clearly because he says he's no good in the wet and he's just gained 4 positions in the opening lap. Anyway, moving on, glossing over the live pants on fire. Zab is doing very well as well, although he's running a little bit wide, but gets out onto the marbles, which might give him a little bit. Your position says otherwise, mate. Nah, to be fair, yeah, a lot of the wet is just staying alive and getting yourself into good enough position. Yuri has got a good run. Zab on the right, Yuri's on the left. Zab's not going to have the inside line, but he's coming on the slightly wetter side. As the rain's coming in very, very hard indeed. It's a shame that we can't have a weather radar up and see how much of the rain's coming in. So Yuri up into 9th position. Jez has made up 2 spots as well. So Jez making his way up the field. A little bit. Zab and just having a little drifting competition as we come through these final couple of corners. Very, very twisty. If you get them wrong, you lose a lot of time, as BT's just found out the hard way. Astro now closing in on the back of Obi-Wan. What can Obi-Wan do? That Jack has got some great acceleration. If he can get the power down, it will go. A lot of people flicking over to the wet line, trying to cool these tyres down, trying to keep the tyres in the optimal window, try not overheating too much, as I believe the rain's just disappeared as well. So a lot of the top 5 starting to open themselves up a bit. We're going to come back, we're going to keep an eye on the crew near the back, as Yuri has got a very good run on Danger. So through goes Yuri. Up into 8th position, up the inside, very clean and easy pass. BT's putting pressure on Astro. Astro now starting to live up. Afternoon Chaos. Astro starting to live up to his name in the wet, since he's starting to fall back down a couple of positions now. Yuri, next car down the road to try and pass Astro. Astro's had a great couple of opening laps, as he's now starting to lose it a little bit. Goes a little bit wide. Yuri's on the much drier part of the line, and through he goes. BT goes wide, he goes out onto the wet stuff. This is going to give Yuri the advantage. Can he get the power down? Does he go? Does he look at that? Yeah, alright, now you're starting to live up to your name. Oh, BT goes wide as we missed that, as I've been chatting too much shit to another fellow driver for the next season. BT goes a little bit wide, goes off onto the grass, so through goes Yuri. Yuri up to P6 now. Astro down into P8. Potential recovery coming in. Alright, every time I look at Jezza, one of 2 things happens. He's either promoting himself up or he's falling himself down. What has happened to you? What's happened, Jezza? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, he's taken out. Oh no, no. Yeah, Jez is doing the right thing. Letting Zab straight back through. So, Jez is not having a great race at all. Zab's been not having a fantastic race. Danger's found himself off onto the grass again, this time by himself. So we're going to go a bit further forward. Yeah, I'd say strike. Oh, Tommy sticks his nose up the inside. He's a little too far away from Kanata at this point. Kanata really needs to hold this position as long as possible. But with 6-7 laps left of this race and with this much pace difference, I'm not sure what Kanata can do. 54.7 versus a 56.5. Tommy is on fire at the moment. The intermediates really starting to show. Good on the exit, well, reasonably good on the exit, doesn't go too wide. The intermediates starting to rear their heads and start being the faster tyres. Some of these drivers are still in the wet. There is more rain to come. This was the wet race, and the weather balloon that Ross has so kindly put up for us did predict some bad weather. That's the one thing I do remember about this race that I didn't attend. Now Tom getting himself stuck in, he's on the intermediates as well. Kanata's on the wets. So are the wets the wrong choice, or are they the right choice at the start and at the end? Gigi's got a good run. Gigi's going to try and go up the inside of Tom. Tom's going to try and shut the door. He's unable to. Tom goes very late on the brakes. A lunge sent from a different century up the inside. Let's go and have another look at that. So Kanata has to brake a little bit early. Tom just sends it from a different period of time in a different dimension from Kanata, who was caught napping and sleeping. He was in a deep hibernation going into the hairpin, as he's now side by side with Gigi. Gigi's on the intermediates, and through goes the intermediate tyre of Gigi. So top three are all on the intermediates. Kanata's on the wet. Yuri's in P5. He's on the inters as well, so I'm expecting him to potentially close up on the back of Kanata shortly. Let's come back through. Astro's on the wet, so both Porsches on the wets. They might struggle a little bit in this interim period because this track is drying. It's almost dry enough for slicks. Is anyone going to risk it? I wouldn't. I'd stay on the inters, considering what the weather's got coming up. So the top four go through. Yuri's going to... I think everyone will stay out. Astro decides to find the very far edge of track limits, as he's now fighting for P7, or P6, excuse me, with Sir Tracy. Sir Tracy up the inside. Well, Astro's good on the brakes. Is he going to try and hold it around the outside? No space was left for Astro. Sir Tracy pushes Astro right off to the edge of the track. BT follows as well. Obi-Wan's going to go through. He's going to take 8th position. BT's going to fall down to 9th position. Danger, whatever the sound is in the background, is in 10th position. Weapon in 11th. Jez is now caught back up. He's climbing up into 12th position. Weapons in 11th, now swooping around the outside of Danger, who is on the wet tyres as well. We're going to go forward a couple of cars. Let's check up on the cars just slightly ahead. Not much is changing. As Yuri, no, Yuri's not really catching up. Let's come back to this pack. We just witnessed Jezza going up the inside of Danger. Jezza now starting to pick the pace back up again. He's back up into 11th. This time he doesn't cause a strike at the hairpin. He's going to carry on going down the hill. His next target is Weapon, who's in 10th position with that reverse pole. Let's come back to these two as Gigi finds himself into P2. Has gone past Tom through the final couple of corners. Kanata's really falling back down, but here comes, as everyone can see, here comes the rain. So the Inters have had their spurt of speed. Here comes Tom back up the inside, the latest of late breakers it appears at this race at the moment, up the inside, nice and cleanly done. Back on the power, gives Gigi the space as we come round the right hand corner. Gigi's still kind of there, losing out a little bit, brakes a little bit earlier than Tom. Tom goes a little bit wide, but not too much, and not too much to matter as Gigi tries to go around the outside, tries to carry the speed, unable to, looks for that switchback. Tom masterfully cuts that off and shuts that down very firmly. So that weather period of the Inters are much quicker than the wets is probably over by now. I'm looking at that moisture meter on the bottom left of your screen. It's definitely coming into the point where the wets will start being faster. So Can Kanata charge back up to the front? Can he get a top 3 or even up into the lead? He's got just under 3 laps to go now. So what can he do? Yuri's in a very lonely and very comfortable 5th position at the moment. Astro's on the wets. Oh, let's go back forward because these two keep swapping positions again. We're going to stay here actually. I'll check on the rest of the grid once these two spread out. Spread out now. Obi-Wan's on the wets as well, so how far can these two get up the road? Can these two start catching up to potentially the top 5? I reckon the top 6 for Astro is doable. Top 5 might be a little bit of a stretch, as you want a tyre difference and a tyre advantage. Here's one. The Inter's starting to struggle a little bit. The wets are very much in favour at the moment if they can keep the cars on track. So we're going to come back and check. Oh no, well that's quite an easy position gained. So Tracy decides to find out what the pit wall looks like from the looks of things as we come round the long right-hander. Usually on the dry tide you're on power about here, and you're feeding in the power very, very nicely. Oh, it's just a bit too much power into the Arm Cove barrier just before the pit-in. Keeps his foot down, spins this car around. Here comes Weapon with a load more speed. Here comes Jezza too. Can Jezza get past? Can he claim the top 10? He is going to claim the top 10. So Tracy falls down to 11th. Here comes Danger, who's got wet tyres. He's going to go up the inside. So Tracy's struggling to get that car to turn. Damage has only just gone off for them. So unlucky and unfortunate to Sir Tracy, who was in 6th, I believe. Locked up the brakes. I heard the little squeal there. Goes a little bit deep. So Sir Tracy's lap is really unfolding it in sort of as we're seeing it at the moment. Danger's on the wet tyres, as we're very much in wet conditions at the moment. As you can see, these cars skating around, searching for the tiniest little bit of grip. Danger finds a little bit more grip than Jezza. Jezza around the outside. Danger's up the inside. And through goes Danger at the moment. Can Jezza respond? He's going to try and respond. He can't quite respond. The grip on that Jag is just a little bit too strong at the moment. We're going to go forward a few cars. As Gigi has fallen down quite a considerable margin. What's happened to Gigi? Oh no. Lost it at the hairpin. So through goes Kanata, through goes Tom. Kanata's still behind Tom. Tom's doing a fantastic job at the moment, considering these torrential conditions. Tommy, well, we're not even going to look up here. I think we just need to blur him out again, being honest. I think we're just going to have to look at saying Tom is the race leader. Tom doing a fantastic job at the moment, just holding off that Porsche long enough. But can he hold it? No, it's going to be commentator's curse strikes, is it? It will be a commentator's curse strike. Tom just about holds it around the outside. He's doing a wonderful job at the moment. Kanata's trying his best. Tom somehow manages to keep that Nissan just in front of the Porsche, but this might have sealed his deal and might be sealing the fate at the moment. Kanata drives that car around the outside, has the grip, uses the marbles on the outside, and through he goes. So Kanata up to P2. It was a fantastic defence from Tom, but unlucky to Tom. He's going to fall down into P3 at the moment. He's just got to hold on and survive for this P3. Gigi's in 4. Yuri's in 5th, slowly closing in on Gigi actually. Astro's in 6th, closing in on the back of Yuri, who did a 2:05.1 compared to a 2:01.9. So Astro's closing in quite quick. Everyone's in the 7th. BT's in 8th. We got Danger in 9th. What's happened back here? Oh, Weapon has a huge snap of oversteer in that Supra as we come out the final corner. So Danger's in 9th. Jez is in 10th, so Tracy's in 11th, Sab's up into 12th. And the Supra of the Weapon is down into 13th. Zab, is he going to go inside of his teammate? No, he's not. Well, we probably will now. There's an opening. Yeah, so Tracy lets Zab through. Yeah, that was well held. That was very well held. I think for the intermediate drivers, it is now just a case of survival. Zab is on the wets, so it's going to be it's going to be advantage Zab for the final couple of laps. Jezza is going to have to try his best to hold on to P10. I think some of these drivers, especially on the Inters, are probably looking at these conditions, maybe thinking, wets might not be a bad decision. But then again, the middle period where the Inters was so much faster, it kind of did look optimal. I don't know, it's kind of 6 and 2 3s really for these guys. Let's go forward a couple of cars. Astro's catching up to the back of Yuri. Yuri's slowly catching up to the back of Gigi. Gigi's catching up to the back of Tom, who's now struggling a little bit. And Kanata's sort of holding the middle ground. Tommy's just got to get through one last lap. And then he will win the sprint race here in the wet. Yuri's just got to get through one last lap to hold the top 5. And judging by the pace difference here, I don't think he's going to be able to do that. He's going to have to rely on this straight and try and get the best exit and the best braking point he can. The 201.8 and the 204.3, so Astro's still 2 or 3 seconds faster on the previous lap. Yuri goes slightly defensive to the inside. Astro, look at the grip difference in that. Yuri tries his best, he cannot do it. Astro's up to P5, Yuri's down into P6. What else can Astro do? Can Astro get Gigi in this last lap? Let's come back and have a check on them a little bit later. So Danger's driving off in 9th, Jezza in 10th at the moment. He's just got to make it around in last. This lap, Zab doing his best to try and catch up. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to catch up to get that reverse pole. Jezza doing a wonderful job at the moment, just staying alive, keeping the car in a straight line and on track. Let's go forward a couple of cars. Oh no, yeah, well, Gigi's gone off, so Astro's up into 4th, he's got Gigi, Yuri's back up into 5th, he's back into the top 5, Obi-Wan's gone up into 6th position. So Gigi missed the braking marker again, or slid off the circuit, dropped down into 7th position. Can Tom keep it together? But we're going to come forward to the top 2, as these two have been having a great fight this season. But it is going to be the driver we're going to have to blur out for the rest of this race, I think. He has come out on top. He's led really since lap 1, not really been contesting too much. He's done an absolute superb job, not put a foot wrong this race, as Tommy's going to come over and win the sprint race. Kanata's put a good fight in and got that up into 2nd position. Tommy's going to come out the final corner, keep the car as straight as he can. He's going to be into 3rd position. Astro is lying and can drive in the wet. It's in 4th. Yuri's in 5th. Obi-Wan's in 6th. Gigi's in 7th after making a slight mistake at the hairpin. VT is in 8th. Danger drifting his way through the final couple of corners. He's going to come out the final corner across the line for 9th. Jetta does hold 10th position. He's going to get reverse pole. Zab's in 11th. Weapon does keep the Supra in the straight line. He's going to get 12th, and Sir Tracy is in 13th. Nope. No, I don't want that one. I want this one. Feature. Thank you. So, who's looking forward to the car reveal Monday? I am. At the same time, I'm kind of breaking it, because I've got no idea what we're going to do. Okay. Right. Strategy here is going to be one and only option: survive. That is it. That is the only strategy and path that you can go at this track. It's a wet start.
We're both seeded, so if we're getting our first pick, probably not.
Yeah, we're both seeded. If I get first pick, I'm gonna go and buy a lottery ticket. Because if I get the first pick car that I'm after with my teammate, I'm gonna be absolutely flabbergasted. But I'm not gonna say anything because
Getting first pick.
Oh, I'm probably not getting first. I know I'm not getting first pick.
What's your first pick?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what my first pick is. I know I'm not getting first pick because I'm a Patreon member. I know where my pick spot is. I'm not going to say where it is because I don't want to give out too much, because that's all part of the evil plan of the admins of building up suspense going into this, and I love seeing all squirm a little bit too. No, I'm joking. Yeah, if my teammate and I get our first pick car, I will go out and buy a lottery ticket. But yeah, right, coming back to the race for a second, and then we'll catch up with that. You know, you probably know my pick as well then. Jezza's going to lead us. He got reverse pole with Danger in second, BT's in third. As many people switch driver. Yuri's livery has finally loaded, and he switched out to the wets. I think a lot of people are switching out to the wets, and maybe realising that the wets are slightly faster. Tommy's livery has decided to load. He and Jezza are the only ones in the top 10 on intermediates. They're the only two drivers on the entire grid on intermediates. Okay, this will be interesting then. So, two drivers thinking the rain could get easier and the dry line could appear, and everyone else thinking it's going to get a lot heavier. Or say it is. So, let's find out. Let's see how we get going. Now, everyone tucks into the slipstream. Who's going to be brave on the brakes, as I can't even operate a camera at the moment? GG. I'm with Astro. Now I've been demoted down to tier 4 white, I think it is. As on the reveal, that was hosted by Ross on Monday at 5 PM. For those of you who haven't seen it, I highly recommend going and watching it, as GG and BT are having a great little battle at the moment. GG's completely sideways, nearly loses the car, gets a lovely little switchback on BT. BT goes a little bit deep on the brakes, deep on the exit of the corner, which allows GG to try and get the switchback, as these two are tussling and scrappling for position. As GG's getting the power on so much, he's completely sideways at one point. Oh god. Oh, okay. Wait, you think I'm back where I'm supposed? Oh, that's good. I'm glad someone thinks I'm back where I'm supposed to be. I'm glad someone thinks that. We'll have to wait and we'll have to see. This season's going to be interesting. There's going to be there's some good names in this in tier 4 this season, on both the blue and the white side. GG and BT still having their own little battle. Still.
It's not allowed to team up for 2 seeded.
No, it's not. I'm teamed up with Yuri, who's not seeded. I'm teamed up with this driver. He's not seeded, and him and I. Yeah, T4 white is stacked, and it's going to be great fun, I think. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, GG nearly loses it. Right, let's actually get on with my job. And for just a second, Weapon up into 10th, Tommy and Kanata into 9th and 8th respectively. Astro's in 7th. So the back part of this circuit, has been very busy, as Danger has a little look up on the inside of Jezza. Jezza still holds P1. GG and BT still having a battle. These two are still scrapping it out. What has gone on here? Right, first of all, let's look at Jezza. What has happened here? Oh, just a little bit late. Oh, just Jezza just a little bit late on the brakes, and down he goes. But What I want to know is, I'm going to speak to you from the past here. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Hang on. I'm going to speak to you from the future here. What have you done? Alright, let's go and have a look at what my future teammate has done. Let's see. Oh, okay. No, I'll let him off. He comes in very, very quick into the back of that Jag, just gets on the grass and... yeah, I'll let him off the hook this time. He was meat last time, and I will let him off the hook today. So, Yuri's race has just been completely undone. He's now got to have a monster recovery drive to really get back up to this pack. We're going to go back further forward, though, as this pack is now very much bunched up. And it's probably the tightest pack I've seen for a little while. Our championship leader's in P6 at the moment. His rivals in P5 just trying to get ahead, excuse me, of Obi-Wan. Into the hairpin. GG makes the hairpin this time, just behind. No one's spinning out and no one's spinning around. Tommy's struggling to get up to the back of Kanata at the moment. The wet tyres are still the slightly quicker tyre, but Tommy's giving everyone a good fight at the moment. He's putting his money where his mouth is, that's for certain. If you're looking for a tier 3 driver, there's your tier 3 driver right here, I think. I don't know where he's actually positioned for this season. As we come a bit further forward, Kanata trying to stick his nose up the inside of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, wise, because he's a Jedi, ends up using... Yeah, it is. Oh, no, it's not quite the Astro. He didn't sign up. GG goes wide, lights up the rear tyres, can't hold it this time as Kanata goes a 2-minute dead. That's actually a pretty quick lap considering. You are reserving tier 3. Okay. I didn't see your name. I thought you didn't sign up. So BT's up into second. Now he's got a little bit of free air around him, but not for too much longer, as what's going on in the background. So Tracy's gone off in the background. So Tracy not having a great race here at all. Jez is now up in... See, I told you lied, Astro. Now GG's in 7th. Just ahead is the liar pants on fire. You know, I think you should have a new livery. Oh, the rear of your car is... Where the hell is... Who's where? This is what I'm after. What's happened to Tom? Oh, yeah, that'd do it. That'd do it. So, Tom, I thought that might have been a little mistake by Tom. It wasn't. Weapon comes in very hot. Very, very hot indeed. Does hit Tom in the back of the hairpin, but does do the right thing. Waits, pulls over, lets Tom back through. So Weapon's now into 11th. Tom's up down into 10th. Zav's up into 9th. Jess is up into 8th at the moment, considering he was P1. Made a slight mistake. The Weapon became a Weapon. I know he needs to go back to weapon school and learn how to have weapon handling. Jezza was in first, now down into 8th after making a mistake, but slowly clawing some positions back, keeping his nose clean from here, which is good to see. A bit further up ahead, Astro has now got GG for company. He's trying to chase down GG. I think GG's recently got past him. GG's now trying to chase down Tommy, who is the only driver, apart from Jezza, on the intermediate, so he's doing very well considering we're very much on a wet track at the moment. It's the BT train at the moment as Obi-Wan's under serious pressure from Kanata as Kanata gets squeezed off. I don't think Obi-Wan knew he was there as GG lights up the rear tyres. Oh dear. Let's just witness one of the greatest things. Moving on to more exciting things. Zab now down into 8th position. Jez is into 7th position. Yes, Yuri, your message just come through saying you doing comps. No shit, I just posted up. Hang on, how long am I doing comps? Long enough. Tom gets a good run on Zab at the moment as we come down into turn, whatever it is, turn 3 I think it is. Yeah, moving on. Tom goes around the outside of Zab, making up positions after having a little bit of a hoo-ha here. One lap ago. Let's go further forward. Let's check on the drivers just out ahead as both Kanata and GG seem to be having synchronised dancing here. As we come out of the hairpin, both of these two having synchronised dancing. GG is being very proud on the throttle, I would probably say. It kind of seems like a bit of a switch, that throttle with him at the moment. Definitely going through the fuel, that's for certain, but that's the way he drives, and if it works for him, it works. So Kanata losing a little bit of time to Obi-Wan at the moment. We are very much in a hailstorm at the moment, probably torrential rain at the moment. Danger leading the way at the moment. Keeping it smooth and consistent, that's what he needs to be doing. No real little mistakes. BT's in 2nd, now got a little bit of 3A, he's got Obi-Wan behind, we're not really closing in by much. Kanata in 4th, GG's in 5th, Astro's in 6th, so it's a good day for the Porsches at the moment. 4th and 6th, we then got Tom in 7th, Jezza's in 8th, Zab's in 9th, so Tracy's in 10th with Yuri in 11th, and well, how would you describe this thing here? How would you describe it? Oh, you're championship leader, sorry, that's it, that's the word I was looking for. He's in 12th at the moment, there's still a long way to go. As he's coming in. And Weapons had a very, very bad lap as well. What's happened? Sorry, Okay, oh dear. Weapon just lit up the rears by himself, so off goes Weapon. Now, let's go a bit further forward. We're going to stay in Kanata's position. Very early on the brakes, these guys have got to have a long braking zone going into turn 1. Got to try and get these things stopped as best as possible.
Was fucking rapid here.
He does seem quick. I don't understand how people can be quick in the wet, because in the wet you got the offline here where the marbles are out here. That's where a lot of the grip is. But a lot of people seem to drive on.
Are all top pros in the wet face with tears of joy.
Yeah, you are all top pros. How you? Huh? Oh, I would have probably bailed out of that one, but okay, fair enough. So, yeah. Tommy coming out. Yeah, Tommy coming out onto the wet tyres, putting a load of fuel in, probably enough to go to the end, with a 3-second penalty as well, so that's going to impact his race big time. But we're going to come back to the front, back to more entertaining parts of this race, because we've blurred him out. We're going to come back to the action. This group are probably the closest on track at the moment. We're going to check through the rest in a mo. Astro looking in a good position. He is closing up on the back of GG in P5 at the moment. So is his teammates closing up on the back of Obi-Wan. He's going to have a little look. He's going to get completely alongside. He's going to go through this left hand. He's going to get he's going to get alongside. Is he going to drive around the outside? Like I said, he's offline. He's got the marbles advantage. He can keep the speed, drive around the outside, and up into P3 goes Kanata. after a fair few laps of following the Jaguar. But the Jag's not done. It's got some good strong legs. It's got some good acceleration as well. The braking's okay. Kanata gets a little bit sideways as we come into the turn 1. Kanata keeps the position though, doesn't get too sideways, holds it. The car in a nice little slide. As we're going to come back. It's kind of now the Kanata train or the BT train, with carriages that are all over the road, that's for certain, and carriages that want to start making some progress now. BT's doing Danger a big favour here. He's backing up this group. He's not really getting Danger's not really getting away though. It's time for Danger to start pulling away a little bit. Let's stay with Astro. Can Astro put GG under a lot more pressure here? He has a little look. A bit further up ahead, BT taking the wider line. Kanata getting the tighter line, trying to get the switchback as we come charging down this hill. Kanata is phenomenally fast through the final corners. Everyone trying to keep up with Kanata at the moment. Kanata is sniffing the exhaust fumes coming out of that Peugeot. Is he smelling a P2? I think he is smelling a P2. Is he going to do what he did to Obi-Wan? He's going to try. BT sees it coming, shuts that door very firmly in Kanata's face. These two both take the high and wide line. Here comes Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's now getting a little bit of extra momentum. He's caught up to the back of Kanata. Can he get the final corner right? Can he get the power down? He gets the power down nicely. He does get a good run. Is it a good enough run? It's just behind Gigi and Astro. Just behind them. Everyone's got a double toe here. Can he get his nose up the inside of Kanata's? Kanata gets a little bit of a push from Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan and Kanata are trying to get either side of BT as we're going to go 3 wide into turn 3. This is absolutely bonkers stuff to do in the wet. As BT still holds on P2, Obi-Wan drops down to P4, tries to be the wiser person. Tries to sit back, but Kanata sticks his foot and it goes around the outside of BT before the hairpin. And through goes Kanata. Astro's going to get involved as well. But yeah, let's go back and watch from Astro's perspective of what. Come back here, because Astro does make a move as well. He's going to get involved. So Gigi defends all the way to the right hand side, moves across to the left, gets across to the racing line, which opens the door to Astro. Astro straight up the inside, doesn't take any prisoners here at turn 1. Gets his foot down, gets a good enough exit. Watches these guys all go 3 wide. He's just going to break at his normal spot, take his normal line. He's getting a nice hefty push from GG behind, who's trying to sneak his nose up on the right hand side. That's not going to work this time. He just does his own thing, sees an opening, goes for it. Gets up the inside of Obi-Wan and Astro trying to get those cars to rotate. Astro up into P4 at the moment. He's still got Obi-Wan up on his inside. There's a tiny little bit of contact there. Obi-Wan falling back down. He's in P5 at the moment. Astro's on a good run. Yeah. I'm not going to... When you say you're bad in the way, I ain't going to believe you again. Kanata up into P2, starting to pull away here from BT. BT's in P3. Danger's a little bit further down the road in resistance in P1 at the moment. Astro is in P4. We've then got Obi-Wan and Gigi in P6. Tom's just going up the rear at the moment in 7th. Zab's in 8th. Jez is in 9th. So great little bit of recovery at the moment from Jez, who's the only driver left on the Inters. So Tracy's in 10th. Yuri's in 11th. Weapon is in 12th. And Tommy is bringing up the rear in 13th, serving his 3-second time penalty and swapping tyres. Take a breather for a second. No, I can't take a breather for a second. You guys won't let me. Sir Tracy lights up the rear tyres.
I can't stop talking, but this is really my first race in the wet's face with tears of joy. It's the car, I swear.
Where are you? Stop lying. I'm joking. to be fair, it is racing hard like this in the wets is really, really tricky. I do struggle to race in the wet. Obi-Wan and Gigi having a little battle at the moment. Gigi trying to go around the outside, tries to outbrake Obi-Wan in the Jag, does kind of successfully do it, but you're never going to outpower the Jag out of the corners. That is for certain, especially when you're in, what is this? Gigi goes up the inside, Astro goes up the inside as well, as both of these two make their own passes. Gigi lights up that rear tyre, gets almost completely sideways, nearly spins it. Obi-Wan finds a little puddle on the outside. Is that going to interfere with him? He's going to lose a little bit of speed as we come through the mid part of the corner. Now here comes to Paro, that mighty V8 Jaguar. He's going to get completely alongside Gigi. Gigi does not realise he's there. Tries to get across to the outside. Ends up hitting BT. BT goes off wide. Obi-Wan's going to try and capitalise. Can he capitalise? He has to give BT the space, which he does. He gives plenty of space. So BT is going to fall down to 6th position. He's going to lose a couple of spots. Obi-Wan getting a little bit frustrated and heated at the moment. I can tell because of that braking point at the moment. He's getting a little bit heated under that helmet. Tom's going to get involved. Here comes Tom. Tom's going to go try and around the outside. Now inside of BT. Now switches to the outside. Zab's going to get involved as well, as BT is drifting his way through the double right-hander. Tom's now completely alongside. These two are doing a little bit more than rubbing at the moment. Zab breaks a little bit later, holds the high and wide line. BT's down into 8th position. So BT has not had a fantastic lap at all, been stuck in scraps the entire lap. He was up here. Now both Porsches have been released. Kanata's already caught up to the back of Danger. Danger's running in the 202s. Kanata's running in the 2 minutes. Let's check on the rest of the pack quick. Yuri's in P9 at the moment, ahead of Jezza, who's in P10. So Tracy finds himself in the gravel, and again, so Tracy not having a fantastic time in the wet at all. Weapons in 12th, and Tommy's bringing up the rear, but slowly catching up at the moment. We're going to go back to the top 2. Or are we going to see a position change this lap? Danger does his absolute best, tries to shut the door very firmly in Kanata's face, which he very much certainly does. Kanata and Danger trying to get the power down, as I'm just watching these guys. Oh dear. Is this a spin that GG just can't hold? No, this is a spin that GG just cannot rescue. GG has been sliding this car around the entire race. Very well handled, some great control skill. But that is a spin that GG just cannot control and cannot rescue, and we're going to go back about 10 seconds. Danger comes across the left hand side, opens up the inside to Kanata. Yeah, curbs do seem scary. Kanata goes straight through at the inside. Danger does what he can to hold off the Porsche, but the Porsche of Kanata is just unstoppable at the moment. What can Astro do? Let's come back a few corners. BT looking for a little bit of revenge. I wouldn't say revenge, but looking for some positions back. That's for certain. GG in 8th position, looking to want to potentially close up that gap. Yuri's in 9th. Jess is in 10th at the moment. We then got Weapon and Sir Tracy in 11th and 12th. Right, coming on to lap 10 of 23. So 13 laps is more than doable in a lot of these fuel tanks, so a lot of people could be coming into this lap, and you could look at a big undercut here, but just some fresh wets on. I don't think anyone is coming in. Where's one of the Jaguar? Yeah, if a Jaguar could do 13 laps, I reckon, then these guys aren't really holding back too much at the moment. But it depends. If people think it might dry out towards the end, are they going to try and hold out as long as possible and try not have to stop at all? Tommy could. Tommy's already stopped. I think he's got enough fuel to go to the end. Well, it's been an eventful 10 laps, and now you guys have calmed down a little bit. Everyone's starting to just space themselves out. Kind of get. So we're now at the quiet point of this race. I say quiet point. It's never quiet when you've got Sir Tracy in your tier, from what I hear. The way it seems, Sir Tracy in the wet is not having a fantastic time at all. What happened actually? Oh, this was lost a little while ago. There we go. If I can actually press the correct buttons.
Just stop talking.
That's unlucky. That is unlucky. I won't give him terror. I'll take back what I said about him just a second ago. That is unlucky. That is nearly gone again. Just mid-corner the rear. Let's go. Where's Astro?
That's not possible.
Right, how do I talk enough about Astro to potentially make him crash then? Can I do it? I wonder if it's possible. Because at the moment, you're saying that this is your first race in... That changed tacks quite quick. Zab and Tom, these two are pretty close together. We're going to stay with these two for a little bit. I'll keep an eye on the minimap to see who else has a little moment. Zab's actually gone purple. Zab could be on for a good lap here. Oh, there we go. So let's see what Zap can do. Tom goes a little bit wide, but he's going to use the marbles to keep the grip around the corner. Zap goes a little bit tighter. We'll have a little bit more understeer. And the different lines is... There's different lines from both drivers. It's becoming quite evident. And it's actually quite interesting to see the different lines from these guys. It's like I mentioned earlier. When you go around the corner, typically on the dry line, you want to be over where Tom is right now. You want to be following this line. But in the wet, you've got the marbles out here, all the rubber. From what I understand in this, I could be wrong, it might be worth speaking to people that actually know more about the technical side of this game. Being on the marbles in the wet is not actually a bad thing. It helps with the grip from what I am aware of. Again, double check with people, would probably be quite good to know. But sometimes being on the racing line, quote unquote, like these two are now,
I'm pretty sure everyone was using the racing line, me included, face with tears of joy.
Yes, you can use the racing line. I'm not saying you can't use it, but
Offline should have more grip.
yeah, that's what my thought was, because if you're offline, especially with like heavier braking points and you're close enough, or so a driver coming up to it, yeah. We'll stay on Sir Tracy for a second, because they're coming up. Oh, wait, we'll go forward. So on the previous corner that Tommy's just gone through, on that corner there, moving on to more interesting things, we're going to go a bit further forward. We're going to go back near the front. As Zab's still closing in on back of Tom. Just struggling a little bit. Tom taking a different line again this lap. Changing around, trying to find something that works. He seems to be finding something that whatever.
Face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with
Yeah.
tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy.
I might turn it off if that's going to happen the whole time. Yeah, you're not having a great race at the moment. I can imagine that steering wheel had a palm quite firmly put on it, or the table next to it, or your thigh. I can imagine something of like that nature happened. There's not really much going on at the moment. Like I said, these two are closest. Zab has had a great second half of this lap. Let's get stuck into this then. Oh no, we're not going to get stuck into this. We're going to get stuck into the wall, that's for certain. As he comes rejoining onto the track, Gigi just about manages to avoid. Kanata comes in at the end of lap 12. He's going to start his 13th lap coming out the box. Zab was doing such a good job then. Gigi setting a new fastest lap at 2:04. That's actually a very quick lap. Kanata comes out of the pits. He's just done fuel. He's not done tyres, just fuel. So that saved him a little bit of time. He's come out in 6th position at the moment. As the back three are really spread out at the moment. So Yuri's coming in to do a very similar thing. The Weapon's going to stay out. Tommy's not having a race at the moment at all. He's not having the race he's wanting. So Tracy's not having the race that they're after either. So Danger back into the lead. He's out the lead for about 3 or 4 laps. Now he's back into it. It's time to open up that gap a little bit more. See what he can do. Is he going to come in and pit? And respond to Kanata, who's in P6 at the moment. Porsche versus Jaguar at the moment, up at the front.
I don't know what you're on about. This was the plan all along, lol.
Oh, this was the plan. I see. You want to make it a big proper championship fight at the end. I see. Very smooth by Jezza. He's having a much better race than he was in the sprint. He's in 9th at the moment, a bit on his lonesome.
Yeah, gave my false hope.
Now Yuri's come out onto the inters. Yuri did change tyres. He was on the wets. Now he's on the inters. He's putting a little bit splash of fuel as well. What's Tommy? Tommy's still out. He's still going. So Tracy's still going as well. Danger stays out. Danger doesn't respond. Nor does Astro. Nor does Obi-Wan. Nor does Tom or BT. So Kanata is the first one to pit from the top group. So he's good to the end. So now all this time he's gaining and all this time on track he's gaining, it's just going to extend his lead a little by little. He's the only driver at the moment to have come in apart from Tommy and Yuri. So these three rolling the dice thinking that it's going to stay wet and stay like it is. With no rain, or very minimal rain. Hang on. Not really any rain on the windshield either. They don't use these views enough. With no real visible rain either, it's going to start drying out quite quick. So now we're into the territory of intermediates. So this is where Jezza and now Yuri will very much become some of the quickest cars on track. Weapon comes in. He's coming out onto the inters as well. He's reading the tire. He's reading the track body language. So can these two claw back some time? Jez has already done a really quick lap. The fastest is new PB by nearly 4 seconds. He's going purple as well. If he can get the car to rotate and turn, he's going purple. So he could be one of the quickest cars on track. So have the guys at the front. Hang on, where is he? Has Kanata made the right call? We're staying on the wets. Staying on the wets is a good decision. Are these guys going to come in this lap? No, what does lap times Danger do? 59.7, so everyone's starting to react. Obi-Wan's got the fastest lap with a 57.9 at the moment. No, BT does. Right, GG's got 57.2, so GG's the fastest driver on track at the moment. Here comes Jezza. Only driver on Inters. What can Jezza do? 57.9. It's still it's just as quick as some of the guys at the front. At the moment, he's quicker than... It's on the same pace as Obi-Wan at the moment. Yuri is the quickest man. Actually, no, hush my mouth. Yuri is the fastest driver on track by 2 seconds. Now, there is a spot of rain coming in. So, have the Inters just had their one wonderful lap, and are they going to be done? Or is it going to be a case of it's just going to be a little sprinkle shower? We're going to go back towards the front. We got a couple of drivers starting to group up now. Now Obi-Wan's closing in on the back of Astro. Astro was at a 59.3 last lap compared to a 57.9. So we've had our quiet little bit. Everyone's had a little tea break. Cooled everything down. Now it's time to attack again. I've got 2 fights to keep an eye on at the moment. Everyone diving over to the left-hand side of the track, getting into that wet part of the circuit, trying to cool down their tyres, trying to make these tyres last as long as humanly possible. Kanata getting in, stuck in at the back as well. Track's definitely becoming a bit wetter, so it's going back towards the wet tyres at the moment. Jezza with a 57.3, so still very much faster than the guys ahead of him. What can Yuri do? He's going to come in. He's reading the weather. He's going to come in, probably throwing some wet tyres, I should imagine. His teammate's just coming through the final corner now. He's on the wets. So the team at AMG doing something different. They're trying something different, trying to get back up to the front and try and find the optimal tyre to get themselves back way up ahead. Or did Yuri come out on? Yeah, he came back out on the wets. I don't think it's Team AMG's day today as Kanata finds himself some good traction, but BT does not let him through. BT very firmly shuts that door, so Kanata's now waking up. He's getting back into his rhythm. So at the moment it's the Tom train, and we got the Danger train as well. We've got 2 types of trains. It's got a very strong traction control, and you can see down the bottom right on the throttle input, it's jittering and juddering around everywhere. Kanata's got to be a little bit careful because Gigi's just behind him. Gigi is shoving that thing around. A lot of these guys probably might not, potentially could get away with not stopping now. You have to stop at least once. To my knowledge, in the rules, you have to stop. Oh, Gigi's got a very good run. Now, Kanata's already made his stop, so he could just go on to the end now. He's got tons of fuel. Everyone else ahead's got pretty good fuel and fuel saving. They literally just could come in, put a tiny little stash of fuel and go off again. That's technically a stop.
You don't have to stop with wet races.
Oh, don't you? I thought you did. I'm looking at the fuel. Danger and Astro, you can definitely keep going to the end. Obi-Wan, on the other hand, your fuel is not looking too good. Tom might be able to stretch. Kanata trying to go around the outside of BT. BT holds the inside line at the moment. Kanata tries to drive around the outside. He uses the marbles to get the extra grip. Gets the power down a little bit earlier. Kanata's got the outside line. BT's got the inside line. Gigi's going to get involved too. Gigi's got to be a little bit careful because he has to make a stop soon for fuel. He's been thrashing that thing so much, revving it out. BT holds on to 5th at the moment. Who's just made their stop? Weapons just made their stop. So Tracy's gone back off deeper into the gravel this time. They're having a horrible race and horrible turn 1. Yuri's in 11th, Tommy's in P10. Jez is in P9, still on the inters, still holding out strong. We're now on the top train. The top 8 all glued together. As we're going to come back and watch BT through these couple of corners. Kanata does his old move up the inside as BT lights up the rear tyres, loses a little bit of traction. Does GG come in and pit, or does he focus on the race? He gives BT a little bit of a push. I've got to be a bit careful because some could consider that a push to pass. Yeah, here comes GG, he has to, he's got no choice. Let me have a quick look, let me get the rules up. I think it'd be good to know. I know if the wet race happens, tyre compounds don't matter. That I know. For a fact. Let's start this one. Let's serve guide. Rules. So I'm going to try and multitask here. Let's see if I can multitask. Astro's got up to the back of Danger at the moment. Danger still in the top, into first. So I'm going to try and do my best to there we go. Tom under a lot of pressure from Kanata at the moment. I'm sorry, I'm multitasking. I think it's section 2. There we go. Right, there we go. Right, I've got the rules up. We'll have a little look at the end. Right, let's get up to where I was. Astro in Danger have pulled a huge gap to Overone. Overone has to come in. He has to come into pit. Todd might be able to get away with going on to the end. He might be okay, actually. He might have to fuel save a little bit. Kanata's up into 4th position at the moment. He's doing a fantastic job considering he did pit as well. As the whole pack is starting to really spread themselves out now. BT's in 5th. Jezza is in 6th position. Obi-Wan's in 7th. He's come out on the intermediate tyres. He's come out just behind Gigi, who's just done fuel. He's done a lot of fuel, actually, if he has to use that much fuel. Tommy's in 9th. Yuri is in 10th. Sir Tracy in 11th. There's Weapon in 12th. We have lost one. Who do we lose? We'll have to find out. Zab. We've lost Zab. So whilst it's a little bit quiet on track, Okay, here we go. For context, rule 9.2. You do not need to pit in the sprint race, but you must enter the pits for a feature race, unless it is a wet race. So yeah, if it's a wet race, you can get away without pitting if you can manage. So, you are correct, Astro. He's correct to one thing. He can lie about his driving, but he's correct about the rules. During a wet race, you do not need to pit. So if these guys, which these guys are just about not, I think they're going to be able to do it with 3 laps to go. I think they might be okay. Tom might be in a little bit more trouble because he's got to get around this track another 3.
It was like 748 foul without electricity, so I spent last watts of my power station on this race. Wife wasn't happy about that.
Fair enough. As Kanata tries to go up the inside of Tom, Tom holds it around the outside, gets P3 back off Kanata, holds it in position. Kanata launches another attack up the inside at the hairpin. Doesn't get the power down the way he wants to. Tom doing a superb job of defense at the moment, holding him off. Doing everything in his power to hold off Kanata as long as possible. Tom is doing Tommy a huge favour here by keeping him behind and not allowing him to get as many points. Let's see what Kanata can do through the final couple of corners. He's trying to get Tom offset. He has got Tom offset. He has got stuck his nose up the inside. It's not going to be enough. Tom's got the inside for the next 2 corners. He's blocked off his favourite move, which he can't do, but he's got the drive. He's now got the outside line. He's got the marbles to his advantage as well and swoops around the outside of Tom. Tom has put a superb defence up for the past few laps. He's going to have to come into pit though. The fuel gauge has got maybe another lap if he's lucky. And Tom is going to try and stretch this fuel tank out as long as he can. Just up ahead. Oh no, Danger gets a mistake. He makes a mistake, goes off wide, goes off onto the gravel, and through goes Astro. Astro is going to take the lead in this race. Danger makes a mistake. He's probably going to be furious with himself. So Danger now down into P2. It was going so well for him. So well. I was really hoping to see Danger up there winning the race, but a little mistake like that does cost you big time, and it's cost him proper big time, as Astro is now going to drive off into the distance, or he's going to do his best to drive off into the distance. As Astro leads. Liar, pants on fire, I can't race in a wet, leads a race. He's now pulling a good gap on Danger, who's in second. Kanata's in third. He's going to be hunting down for that P2 very, very shortly. Tom's in fourth. He's trying to claw back a bit of time. I don't think he's able to. He's going to have to come in and pit because of that fuel tank. BT's in fifth. GG's in sixth. Jez is in seventh, still on the intermediate tyres, still making these tyres work. I'm actually quite impressed. He's making this tyre work. Obi-Wan's in 8th, he's on the inters as well. Tommy's in 9th, Yuri is in 10th, Switch Race is in 11th, and Weapon is back into 12th.
I am shit but consistently shit, so I eventually win time face with tears of joy.
The next livery on your car next season, the back of that car better have a set of hands that's on fire somewhere, because that has summed up this race. Liar. I'm joking. You don't have to if you don't want to. It'll be a reference that you and I would know, but I don't think Ross will understand it. Or as we're coming onto that 22 or 23, Danger's fuel tanks just hit red. Tommy's going to go for another one. He's fuel saving like mad. He's going to try and stay out of that fuel. He's going to try and stay out of that pit box as long as humanly possible. Kanata, he can just go flat out now.
Remember, I definitely will put it
It's up to you. You don't have to if you don't want to. Right, take a drink whilst I can. Kanata really closing in on the back of Danger here. And Danger struggling to get that power down. That Jag is very, very skirty on its rear tyres, and the confidence level and the drifting from Danger there is immense, well controlled drift from the Jaguar driver. Kanata's piling on the pressure here. Danger's got to drive his drive, he's got to keep it on the road, put it in the right spot at the right time. Just behind, BT's going around Tom. Tom's really struggling at the moment. He's trying to keep this car out of that pit lane as long as possible. I think Danger might just get away with not stopping that going into the pit lane. I'm not sure if Tom will. Kanata trying to set up a move. He's trying his absolute best. Danger's all over the road, just about keeping it together. Danger knows Kanata's favourite moves here around the outside. He shuts the door initially. Does he have enough space? I think he's just about got enough space. They both get the power downs. We're going to come on to the last lap. Danger goes really, really wide, goes right off onto the grass, controls it as well, goes right across to the pit. Well, this is fantastic stuff. The car control from Danger at the moment is immense. Does he get the thing stopped? No, he goes wide again. He goes really wide again. This has allowed Kanata to go straight through up the inside. I'm not sure if Danger's going to be able to fight this one back. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to fight back for P2. Stay here just for a couple of more, a few more corners. I'm just keeping an eye on who's where. I want to jump on board with Danger for this, because if he's going to have the same sort of car control, I love seeing this sort of stuff. The car control that Danger has put on display here today is absolutely immense. There he goes. Danger just struggling to get the power down. Can't quite get the power down. Kanata's going to really open up that gap. To Danger. If we're going to jump forward, is there going to be team orders between these two? Because I think it was Kanata that was putting Tommy up for a championship run, and every point matters here. No one's going to get anywhere near close to Yuri's fastest lap time. Are the two Porsches talking? Are they going to do a team orders, or is Astro going to take glory here in the wet? We'll have to wait until we get to the final corner. But Astro, first race in the wet, my arse. There is no way that is your first race in the wet. You have done absolutely superb. Astro is going to come over and take victory here in the wet at Autopolis. It's going to be a Porsche 1-2 with Kanata in second.
I was kinda also in the fights.
Yeah, fair enough. Sorry, I've kind of forgotten the standings. Danger's in P3, BT's in P4, Tommy's in P5, GG did have a good race, has shown some immense car control today. He comes over the line for 6. Jezza, after making a mistake at turn 1, lap 2 or 3.
I'm not lying, I just stayed alive and played it really safe.
I know you're not lying, I'm taking the mick out of you. Jezza comes home for P7 on being on the interstate the entire race and making a small mistake at turn 1. Obi-Wan's in 8th, had to stop for the fuel. Tommy had a great charge to begin with, made a slight mistake, and that was it.
My fuel saved too much, had another lap.
Doesn't matter. Oh, these two are coming across in style. I love it. I love it. These two are coming across in style. So Tommy and Yuri are going to get 9th and 10th in formation, which is fantastic to see from these two. I did think, what were they doing for a second? But it makes perfect sense what they were doing. So Tracy comes around the last corner for 11th for the last time. Has not had the race that they were after. Struggled a lot, I think, here in the wet. Struggled with the braking zones into turn 1. It's a very hard corner, to be fair. But so Tracy gets 11th on weapon.
That's how safe I played it, haha.
Now, I know I was taking the mick out of you for lying, but to be fair, driving in the wet is hard, and it's sometimes best just to be a bit cautious, play it safe, because if you play it safe, you do what you do, and like Weapon nearly demonstrates, you can nearly stack at the end as he comes over the line for 12th position. So, there we have it. There's Autopolis. Don't look up here, whatever you do. I hope everyone has enjoyed. My apologies for taking so long to come back. Final round will not take long. It'll either be later on today or it will be tomorrow. I just need to decide when I'm going to do it. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all very soon.